This is News 3 Now at 6.
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin.
The 105th State Assembly has officially been inaugurated, taking the oath of office this afternoon at the Capitol. The Wisconsin Assembly welcomed 16 new state representatives. Republicans will hold a 60-38 majority. And thanks for joining us. We start with team coverage on the Assembly's priorities for the new year.
Governor Evers wants a COVID relief bill to be at the top of the list. And we start tonight with Gabriella Becerra. Gabby?
Well, Charlene, Eric, the Speaker Robin Vos says a COVID-19 relief bill may come as early as Friday, but it may not be the bill that Democrats want to see. Now, the bill that Speaker Robin Vos is referring to is Assembly Bill 1, which he says includes provisions that help fight the virus while boosting the economy. A list of these provisions includes coverage of vaccinations under senior care and legislative oversight over federal COVID-19 funds.
The bill includes many items from our bipartisan discussions. However, our Constitution can never be placed on hold, even during times of a public health emergency. We can't allow an unelected bureaucrat to rule over communities like a dictator, picking and choosing what businesses should fail or forcing schools to be virtual.
Vos calls this a bipartisan bill, but also said Governor Tony Evers walked out while negotiating. Democrats have bills of their own. Republicans won't need Democrats in either house to approve their bills, but they don't have enough votes to override a veto from Evers, which means some negotiation might be necessary. And no Democrats were in the Assembly chambers today. Our political reporter Amy Reeds explains why that is.
Lawmakers in the Assembly are going to be required to physically come into the Capitol this session, though they spent much of 2020 with a virtual option. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos did not take questions from the press today, so we were unable to find out why he's requiring this. Democrats have made their concerns about this quite clear, especially since masks are not required for lawmakers. They boycotted the inauguration today, while Republicans in attendance largely wore masks. Their chairs were spaced, but lawmakers often gathered in groups, took off their masks, shook hands, or high-fived. I spoke with one Democrat who would like to see the speaker make accommodations for those worried about contracting the virus here at the Capitol.
As someone with a pretty significant disability, I only have about 20-30% of my lung capacity that I did before my injury. A respiratory illness like this could very easily kill me or put me on a ventilator.
Fitchburg Rep. Jimmy Anderson also asked the speaker for accommodations for his disability last session, something typically allowed under the Federal Americans with Disabilities Act. He said if he isn't granted some this year, he may have to miss votes rather than put his life at risk on the floor of the Assembly. At least, he said, lawmakers could cast their votes from their offices here inside the Capitol, but he said the legislature should be an example for the rest of the state, and since they have the technology, attending virtually should be an option.
Amy, thank you.
Well, we saw a little snow coming down already today, plus some fog on the way. Let's check the first warn forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti on the backyard patio. Gary?
Yeah, Eric, a little burst of snow came through. It was snowing pretty steadily in the backyard when I was out here an hour ago. Now the snow has pretty much quit across the western part of Madison. You see the live view from the WISC TV Skycam. Much improved visibilities off to the east. And as you take a look at the Platteville Queen Bee Radio Skycam, it's a different story. There, it's just fog, and thick fog at that. Visibility right now in Platteville at a half mile in Mineral Point, a quarter mile in Dubuque, Iowa. So a little patch of fog over southwestern Wisconsin and into parts of northern Illinois, but elsewhere visibilities are generally above 3 to 5 miles. You can see a little band of snow moving eastward now across southern Wisconsin. It runs from just east of Madison to about Jefferson. So it'll snow for about 45 minutes to an hour as the band moves on through, and most of this should be out of here within about the next 2 hours. Temperatures right now, middle 20s to around 30 degrees, so there could be some freezing fog along with the fog overnight. Look for temperatures to actually rise a little bit overnight and then fall to the middle 20s by tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, once the fog lifts, we might actually see a few peaks of sun in the afternoon with a high of 30, but don't get used to it. We'll see plenty of clouds for the rest of the week. I'll have more details in the forecast in a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. Wisconsin health officials confirmed 1,500 new COVID cases, 13 new deaths today. The average 7-day for daily cases in the state above 2,200. 51 people have been hospitalized in the past 24 hours. Developing tonight, a prosecutor says the pharmacist who admitted to ruining hundreds of doses of coronavirus vaccine did it because he felt those shots were not safe. The Ozaukee County DA shared that information during a virtual hearing today. According to a probable cause statement, Stephen Brandenburg is an admitted conspiracy theorist and told investigators he believed the vaccine could change people's DNA. Health experts say there is no truth to that claim. Brandenburg was arrested last week after an investigation of the almost 500 doses that were destroyed at Aurora Medical Center in Grafton.
Developing tonight, officials say a town of Sun Prairie death investigation is a murder-suicide. The Dane County Medical Examiner says 44-year-old Jessica Ewers died of a gunshot wound. According to the sheriff's office, 45-year-old James Budworth killed her and then turned the gun on himself. The couple lived together in the home on Pierceville Road. The investigation is ongoing. The Dane County Sheriff's Office is urging anyone struggling with domestic violence to reach out for help. Domestic Abuse Intervention Services has a helpline you can call, 800-251-4445. If you are in immediate danger, please call 911. The Dane County Medical Examiner has identified the man found dead in Rindall Park as 30-year-old Chase Strunk of Madison. His body was found last week, Saturday morning, near a bike path. A cause of death hasn't been confirmed yet. Officials are still investigating the autopsy results. A federal judge has rejected a lawsuit looking to overturn the 2020 presidential election results in Wisconsin and 4 other swing states. The judge says the lawsuit filed by 2 Republican lawmakers, voting rights groups, and others, quote, rests on a fundamental and obvious misreading of the Constitution, end quote. It's one of dozens of similar lawsuits that have failed since Trump's loss to Joe Biden.
A new claim has been filed against the city of Kenosha and also Kenosha County, alleging they were negligent in their response to protests this summer. Kyle Rittenhouse, who is now 18 years old, faces charges for fatally shooting 2 men during the protest, wounding a third. The man who was seriously wounded and the parents of Anthony Huber, who was killed, have each filed a $10 million claim notice. Rittenhouse free on a $2 million bail while he awaits trial. Those protests were over the Kenosha police shooting of Jacob Blake, who was left partially paralyzed after Officer Rustin Shesky shot him multiple times in the back. The mayor and police chief say they expect a charging decision in the first 2 weeks of this month. Ahead of the decision, Governor Evers has authorized 500 National Guard troops to help ensure public safety. Local officials requested the assistance. Kenosha News reports city workers have put up protective fencing around the courthouse, and several side streets are now closed to traffic. About 1 in 10 Madison police officers are black. That is actually more than the city's demographics, but some of those black officers know they need to do a lot to build their community's trust.
And that's why they've started a new group, hoping to place officers in roles beyond their typical duties. Jamie Perez explains.
The coalition is hoping to bridge that gap, and one way that they're looking into that is trying to retain black police officers. According to an annual report that the MPD put out last year, only about 9% of the department's officers are black.
If you can see someone who looks just like you doing something outside of their normal responsibilities that impacts you directly, you're going to develop a relationship, not only with that individual or those individuals, but with the institutions that they represent.
J.R. Sims with the 100 Black Men of Madison is partnering with the newly formed Black Officers Coalition, something he believes is a step in the right direction.
We're hoping to break some of those down, and we believe that we will be successful.
The 100 already does work with the black community. Sims put 2 and 2 together, helping close one gap that could help bridge another.
What we could do is provide that service, a service that we currently have as an ancillary service, and couple that with some of our first responders.
Already, the coalition helped put together and distribute meals at Metcalf's last week to families in need.
What we need is this new generation of officers in the department, and for them to see how they can connect with kids today. And if it's via bikes, via pizza, via movie nights, via field trips, whatever it might be, we're there to help fund and support and make that happen for them.
Joe Ballas, a retired captain of the South Police District, said after working at MPD for more than 7 years and founding Madison's Community Policing Foundation, he's happy to help the coalition with any funding they might need to help foster trust, admiration, and respect.
I mean, it's all about establishing relationships and really, especially with young kids, just to give them some time and attention and so they can get to know you other than just being a cop.
The coalition is also looking at ways to help change policies and procedures that may disproportionately impact members of the Black community. For News 3 Now, I'm Jamie Perez.
100 Black Men of Madison says it is also reaching out to other first responder groups to expand the efforts to bridge this gap. They're hoping more departments can get involved. We'll be right back.
Hey, Tom.
Now through January 7th, join Planet Fitness for no enrollment. $10 a month, no commitment. 2020 is over. Start 20.
Hey, Tom.
Sheila. Hey, don't take losing the Anderson business personally.
I resigned it, Tom. I guess they didn't tell you about their opossum problem.
I thought it was pronounced possum. Now through January 7th, join Planet Fitness for no enrollment. $10 a month, no commitment. 2020 is over. Start 2021 with tons of ways to get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. And spread out while you work out with cardio distancing and our new crowd meter. Plus, use our app to get moving anywhere. Your fitness is essential, so kick things off with the year's best deal. Join for no enrollment, $10 a month, no commitment. Deal ends January 7th.
5 Madison area locations. Sign up for $10 a month. Stop in today.
So, how's saving for the renovation going?
All done.
I will never understand how you do it.
Easy. She saves with BMO Harris. We give you a cash reward for every month you save.
So BMO will give me cash for saving money?
You bet.
Can the subject hold position 2, please?
How's this?
That's art.
That makes saving look good.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect. Get a $5 reward every month you save $200 or more in a new BMO statement savings account.
Better?
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
Lake Mendota is officially frozen over. The Wisconsin State Climatology Office made the official call yesterday. Each year, the Clean Lakes Alliance holds an annual contest asking people to guess when the lake will officially freeze. Out of more than 1,800 participants, more than 50 guessed Lake Mendota would freeze on January 3rd. Of those, Wayne Hansen of Poinet was randomly selected to receive a $1,000 gift card courtesy of Land's End. This year's freezing date is 27 days shy of the record for latest ice on date, which was recorded January 30th, 1932. Last year's freeze date was January 12th. While officials have declared the lake frozen, the Wisconsin DNR recommends waiting until at least 4 inches of ice develops before ice fishers should even venture out.
Still ahead at 6, President Trump continues to make claims that coronavirus death numbers are fake. We'll hear from a local medical expert about exactly how medical examiners determine when the cause of death is in fact COVID-19. And some fog and clouds in the forecast this week. Gary will have your complete First Warn forecast.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Dear Winter, I'm coming. My squad of 15 vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of my game, so you better bundle up. Toyota.
Right now, get $1,500 customer cash on a new 2021 Highlander Hybrid. Visit Toyota.com to learn more. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
You're up early.
Well, U.S. Cellular is giving away the latest phones for free with no hidden requirements, so I did not want to miss it.
Actually, you can get the latest phones free all season long.
What? All season long, huh?
Yep, and no hidden requirements.
You in the market for any camping gear? Only been used once.
At U.S. Cellular, get the latest phones free with the plan of your choice and no required phone trade-ins all season long. U.S. Cellular. Upgrade to fair.
At American Family Insurance, we've always protected more than what you drive. We've protected and supported the dreams that drive you. Right now, that means extending our 10% savings on auto premium for all current and new auto customers through March, so you can get a little closer to your dream. Whether your dream is discovering new roads and new limits, or supporting that dream. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
A surprise party, a wedding proposal, an unexpected bonus at work. Some surprises are awesome, but this? Weather like this should never be a surprise. Not when you watch News 3 Now, where you get an accurate, reliable forecast, so you're never caught off guard by the weather. Need to get up early to shovel? Add time to your commute? Wear boots? Rebook a flight? Let News 3 Now First Warn Weather give you everything you need to know, so you can plan your life.
More than 350,000 Americans have now died from COVID-19. The president calls that total, quote, far exaggerated.
There are still a lot of conspiracy theories out there about how COVID deaths are counted. So Amanda Quintana shows us just how COVID ends up on a death certificate.
It's pretty rare for a death certificate to say just COVID-19. There are often multiple causes of death listed, things that were caused by the virus and contributed to the death.
The proximal cause of death might say pulmonary embolism or blood clot in the lung, comma, COVID-19. Now, if that person didn't have COVID-19, they never would have died from a pulmonary embolism.
Dr. Jeff Pothoff at UW Health says it's a similar story with other causes, like heart attacks. It might be listed first on a death certificate, but if COVID caused that heart attack, COVID will also be listed. In Wisconsin, healthcare providers are then required to report it through an online system called WEDS, and that's how it ends up on DHS's death count.
Every death that we report is a report of a clinician in a hospital or a medical examiner who has made a determination based on the clinical evidence that a person's death was in part or mainly due to COVID-19.
If someone got hit by a train, I don't think any of us would say, well, it's their obesity that killed them, right? It was the fact they got hit by a train that killed them. So it's kind of similar where you say, you know, someone had high blood pressure, they died from that, not COVID. It just doesn't hold much weight.
Pothoff says doctors can tell if someone was at risk before or if it was COVID that brought on these new issues. And they're actually using death certificates to learn more about the virus.
So then we start thinking about treatment strategies that might thin the blood so that more people don't have to die of blood clots who have COVID-19.
As for the tweet from President Trump saying that the numbers in the U.S. are being exaggerated, calling it fake news, or any of the other conspiracy theories suggesting that doctors are making the virus look worse to create fear, Pothoff says he can't worry about that. All he can do is tell the truth, even if it is scary. Amanda Quintana, News 3 Now.
And here's Gary with your forecast.
Well, the fog is thinning out at least over parts of our viewing area. Here at the WISC TV studios, our Skycam looking toward the east shows the visibility has improved quite a bit. We had some snow that moved through around 5 o'clock. That has moved past us, and the fog has thinned out a bit too. But dense fog advisories continue across parts of eastern Iowa and northern Illinois into the overnight hours, but the fog advisories have been allowed to expire for areas south and west of Madison as visibilities continue to improve. 5-mile visibility in Madison, now 7-mile visibility in Monroe, and 2-mile visibility in Janesville. Still some lower visibilities over southwestern Wisconsin, a half-mile visibility in Mineral Point and a quarter-mile visibility in Platteville, but those should improve with time. As we look at the rest of the Midwest, most of the lower visibilities are to our south across northern Illinois and parts of far eastern Iowa. That will be the case overnight. Dense fog advisories continue for that area, but notice the rest of the upper Midwest no longer under fog advisories like we've been over the last couple of days. So not only could we have fog, but again, the potential is there for some freezing fog with temperatures below freezing, and that could lead to some slippery road surfaces along with the light snow that's moving through, but most of that should be over with probably within the next hour or so. Little precipitation after tonight expected for about the next 10 days. The next precipitation I have in the forecast is light snow from Thursday night into Friday of next week. And temperatures will be seasonably chilly, highs upper 20s to lower 30s, very close to average. Don't see any big cold snaps. Don't see any big storm systems either, even though the weather pattern across the Pacific Ocean, very stormy with a series of weather systems, but they're heading up toward Alaska. What happens then is it kind of buckles the jet stream. So eventually the jet stream will become more northwesterly across the country. We've already got one buckle in the jet stream just to our south, but this next storm system moving in will kind of follow a similar pattern, and that will take it mainly to the south and west of us and spare us the snow for Wednesday and Thursday. Meantime, this little weather system coming through with those light snow showers, really not amounting to very much, maybe up to an inch in a couple of spots. I measured about 0.8 of an inch in the backyard from a very light, fluffy snow. But as this trough of low pressure continues to move by, we'll actually start to see some breaks in the clouds by tomorrow afternoon and maybe see a little bit of sunshine, but don't expect much in the 10-day forecast. So for tomorrow, high of 30, some fog and freezing fog in the morning, maybe a little bit of sunshine in the afternoon. That would be nice to see, but in the extended forecast, you can see cloudy skies Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. High temperatures upper 20s to the lower 30s. Next week, maybe a little better chance for at least a bit of sunshine mixed in. Highs upper 20s to around 30. And again, that chance of snow probably holding off until late Thursday night and Friday of next week.
And coming up in sports, the MVP race is over, at least according to Davante Adams. Why number 17 says his quarterback wrapped it up on Sunday. Next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Attic Angel Community has earned a reputation as the one and only. But what's so memorable to the people who live here?
It's good local heart.
Interesting friends.
The view from my window.
Continuing education.
The food.
The amazing art studio.
Happy hour.
There are many reasons to love Attic Angel Community, but there's just one Attic Angel.
MENARDS bag sale is back and bigger than ever because this year you get 15% off everything you can fit in the bag for 2 weeks. That's right, now through January 16th. Need new tools? Put them in the bag and save 15%. Updating your bath faucet? Put it in the bag and save 15%. Painting? Save 15%. Whatever you need, if it fits in the bag, you save 15%. In store only through January 16th at MENARDS.
Save big money at MENARDS.
At Papa Murphy's, we need seriously, chop seriously, and shred seriously. Because we're serious about Tuesdays, even if you're not. Every Tuesday, get a large pizza for just $10. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
This is the big one, folks. The Brothers Maine Everything's on Sale sale. Right now, you'll get everything from Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana with blowout savings, like a Maytag washer for $3.99 and a Maytag dryer for just $3.99. And you'll always get more from the More store, like our risk-free 30-day price satisfaction guarantee. The Everything's on Sale sale with more selection, more savings, and more satisfaction on everything. Now at the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
Accurate news as it happens, right here where you live. Information that you can use from the team you can trust. For more local stories that impact your life, News 3 Now. Wisconsin weather can be frustrating. Get the latest forecast, alerts, and detailed traffic reports from the News 3 Now team. On air, online, and download the Channel 3000 First Warn app. Be the first to know what's headed our way.
Hey folks, looking to declutter and make some space in the new year? There's a nonprofit that'll take it off your hands. Watch Tuesday morning and we'll show you how donating your used clothes and furniture will help out a worthy cause.
For the first time since 2011, the Packers have home field advantage, and that's huge. Aaron Rodgers is 80-20-1 all-time at Lambeau Field, so you have to like the odds of Green Bay getting to the Super Bowl. And speaking of odds, it feels like the MVP race is over. This season, A-Rod has completed over 70% of his passes, thrown for just under 4,300 yards, and a franchise record of 48 touchdowns. And if you ask Davante Adams about it, he says, stop the count.
MVP should be locked up. There's nothing else to really talk about. You look at what we've done and what he's been able to do, you know, and they've hit him with everything, said that he doesn't have any weapons, and then we go out here and go 13-3. You know, I could talk all day about his MVP, you know, his push and all of that, but I think he's a lot of his play to step up and do that.
Pro Football Focus released its all-rookie team, and 2 former Badgers made the cut. The obvious choice, Jonathan Taylor. The Colts running back led all rookies with 1,169 rushing yards and finished 3rd in the league behind only Dalvin Cook and Derrick Henry. In his first season in the NFL, Taylor averaged over 5 yards per carry. His former teammate, now current Cowboys center Tyler Biadasz, also named to the all-rookie team. We knew it was coming, but Eric Burrell made it official. The Badger free safety is declaring for the NFL draft. Burrell announced the news on Twitter this afternoon, and what a career number 25 has had at Wisconsin. EB played in 48 games over his 4 seasons, tallying 126 tackles, picking off 5 passes, and forcing 4 fumbles. Burrell earned his master's degree back in December. The Badger men closed out 2020 in style with a 12-point win over Minnesota, but they haven't played in 2021 yet. With yesterday's game at Penn State postponed, Wisconsin doesn't play until Thursday when they host Indiana. And the guys will be donning a new ranking then. The Badgers slid 2 spots to sit 8th in the latest AP poll. UW is one of 7 Big Ten teams ranked in this week's top 25. Iowa leads the way at number 5. And this year's entire NCAA tournament will be held in the state of Indiana. All 67 games of March Madness will tip off in either Indianapolis, Bloomington, or West Lafayette, with teams staying in hotels connected to the Indiana Convention Center, which will be used as a practice facility. Selection Sunday is set for March 14th. So, Eric, that's different, but it's also pretty cool, too.
Makes a lot of sense. That is the birthplace of great basketball, right, Zach? My home state. All right, let's go to Gary. Final check of the forecast.
Well, we got a little band of light snow showers moving through. Quick burst of snow lasting for about an hour. We picked up about 0.8 of an inch here at the station, so there could be some slippery road surfaces. Visibility starting to improve, although southwestern Wisconsin still seeing visibilities below a mile over southern Grant County. Temperatures right now in the middle 20s.
All right, Gary, thanks a lot. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.